Let's talk politics. Donald Trump, he's swapped flipping policies. I know. I'll use the term loosely now. He's flipping burgers now. He was seen working in a McDonald's restaurant while he was on his presidential campaign trail. There he was making fries, he was giving out the bags of food, talking to customers through the drive-through window. And then we were thinking, oh, is this a good thing, Colleen? Do you think that, you know, that all politicians should be made to do a real job, as we call them, so that they would have more empathy?
I think if he was doing it properly, he'd have had one of those little hats on and gloves for a start. His hygiene's shocking.
Yeah, there's the hairnet.
So he'd be gone straight away.
That hair's not real, don't worry about it.
But, yeah, he could have taken that off.
Put it in the locker.
But I don't think it's a bad idea. In whatever field they're going into, if they haven't experienced, they should go and experience what that life is.
I think they're all stunts.
But not, not as stunts.
Like,
I don't think
here I am in the hospital, I'm going to roll my sleeves up and get
wait a minute. I think they're stunts, what he's just done, with a whole camera crew there and newspapers. I think to do it with no cameras, no newspaper, they're literally doing on the front line to experience what it's like.
And for how long?
For as long as it takes, 2-3 months,
So what if you say,
whatever.
well, I'm the Minister for Transport, therefore I have to go and work as a lorry driver.
You go and get my train every week, twice a week, and you'll see
the train previously. I mean, they've been to Eton, they've done enough.
Exactly, they've been to Eton, so they're out of touch with what actually goes on for everyday people in an everyday society.
But how long?
No, they absolutely need to.
They can't lead a life experience, can they? So even if you said, right, go and live on, you know, the minimum wage for, what would they do it for? A week, a month? That's still not living the life that people are having to live on minimum wage.
Experience some of it.
Yeah.
Go and try and live for 3 months on minimum wage when they've stopped your heating allowance, when they've stopped... Go and live that for 3 months.
But why would that make them a better politician?
And try and feed your family of 4 on that, and then go back and tell me, oh, it's all OK.
But do you think it would really change them to do that for a couple of weeks?
Yeah, I do, because I think
it would change
you would then have some compassion or understanding for what that person is going through.
Exactly.
Well, you just know you're going back to your other life.
Compassion and understanding without having to have done it.
Not necessarily. You have a different perspective. Once you've done it yourself, and you've got lived experience of that, what that person's going through, what that person's doing. There are lots of programmes that have proved that works, where the concept of living in somebody else's shoes for a period of time to see what that's actually like for that person changes that person's view of that person's life. And that's what changes society, when we all start to see what it's like to live in somebody else's shoes.
Yeah, but I think you can... I still think you can understand what it's like. It's
yes,
like,
you can understand
it.
Go, oh, that's so sad while you're going back to your house.
You can't have every single politician now going, well, I'm head of transport, so I've got to go and work on the motorway services now, and I'm head of education, so I'm going to pretend to be a teacher, because they're pretending.
Yeah,
they're pretending,
it's not an authentic.
Aren't they?
Yeah,
they're not going to be doing it so long enough to really...
But every job you go into, you have to have an apprenticeship, and I don't feel like they do. I think money buys them up the ladder.
Well, no, they have further education.
Yeah.
I mean, what about Rishi?
What, being rich?
Rishi. But does that bother you? Because I separate the two and say it doesn't bother me whether they married somebody wealthy or have family wealth. If they're good at that job, that's what I need them to be.
No, but if they're creating policies that I then have to live by, right? You're saying, this is how much money you're going to have. Or if you're talking about, I don't know, you're talking about policies within the prison community, for example, and they don't know what it's like to be a prison guard living on that money and what they have to go through.
That's why they have advisors.
You vote politicians.
Yes.
You look at your local politicians, you have to look at the person always. Always the
but they talk a load of rubbish and go, yeah, I understand. No, you don't understand.
Oi.
Like Trump.
Cole.
Yeah.
And this is why we love loose women, because we've all got different opinions.
You two should do it.
Don't fall out at the end of it.